And we return to your regularly scheduled programming. Hi, everybody. Carson Meredith with you. It is 8:30 on Derby night, Saturday, May 3rd. Good race. Sloppy track, as we all kind of expected. Going back to a few days ago when Sovereignty comes out on top, edging out Journalism in the stretch to win Kentucky Derby 151. Did you win? Did you win any money today? Not even with the Derby, the undercard. I will not talk about how my Derby went because it did not go very well at all. But nonetheless, we are back at it here tonight. The rest of the weather team is probably asleep, or they will be very shortly. So I've got you covered as usual for the rest of the weekend. And we got a lot of rain to talk about, unfortunately. And that is the story tonight. Take you outside to Churchill Downs. It's there. I promise you. You can see the Twin Spires barely. We had that steady rain early in the day, let's say around through about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we started to see that rain relax a little bit. And as we got closer to post time, a lot of showers started to flare up, especially in southern Indiana. Those were kind of dotting the map around Churchill Downs, but really what was the problem, obviously besides the slop, was the mist and drizzle for the Derby this year. And that mist and that drizzle has not gone anywhere. It's going to be sticking around tonight. Even if you're not going to see the steadier showers necessarily, this is the view that you're going to see. So if you got to be out tonight, just be careful. Obviously, the roads are wet. There's going to be a lot of folks out, obviously, heading home from post-Derby events or parties, what have you. So just be careful as you're out and about tonight. Temperature-wise, a little chilly, 57. I think at post time it was either 58 or 59. I think it dropped to 58 right as they went to the post. It's definitely one of the coolest derbies we've had in a while. I meant to look it up and I forgot to right before I walked in here. I apologize, but certainly been one of the cooler derbies we've had in quite some time. And that's no surprise when you think about all the clouds that are holding tough, that aren't going anywhere. And, of course, the waves of showers that we've had, the mist and the drizzle as well. And that breeze really doesn't help matters a lot. Out of the north at around 14 miles per hour last check at the airport. Not necessarily giving us a wind chill, but it's just nasty outside, right? And unfortunately, we're going to do something very, very similar on Sunday and possibly Monday, too. I'll let you digest that radar view. Let's go to the comments, shall we? Angela says hello from a soggy Radcliffe. Rose says hi. Shonda says hello. Olivia says hello from the Grange. Storm Chaser Jason on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. Hello, hello. Angela says hi. Excuse me. So Angela, hope you're well. Sean is like me, did not win a single thing. I'm not a betting man. I don't actually put money on the races or the horses, but yeah, Derby did not go well. I'll leave it at that. Let's see. ZK says hello. Angela says, for a second, I thought the long shots were going to finish in the top 4. It looked good for a minute if you were betting on Neo Equus or I think Coal Battle was up there for a minute. I forget this every single year. Look at the good finishers. Look at the closers. Don't look at the guys that are going to jump out of the gate immediately. Look at those guys that are going to turn on the jets as they come off the final turn. One of these years, I'll remember to do that. Angie, my thoughts exactly. I think my horse is still running. If we're not careful, my horse might still be might be out on the first turn, still just kind of wondering where everybody else went. But it is what it is. Judy says hello from Findlay. It's really wet there. It's really wet everywhere. You see the big picture view. There were a couple of thunderstorms, excuse me, down near Bowling Green a few hours ago. Even still a few lightning strikes with that little storm right there. That's all going to stay south of us. And any thunderstorms that are with us down to the south near Bowling Green, they're going to be weakening because we're starting to lose that quote-unquote heat of the day. We get into the nighttime, the atmosphere becomes a little more stable. So in most cases, the atmosphere becomes more stable at night. So any of those storms down to the south should fade. We have not seen really much in the way of thunderstorms since midday. If you were down near our far southeastern counties, you saw some pretty heavy rain. In fact, I'll show you the rainfall totals in a second. Had some thunder as well. But here in the metro, out at Churchill Downs, it was just rain. Another sloppy derby, a tradition unlike any other, it seems. Right up there with the Masters, the golf tournament, where we just have some kind of rain on either Oaks and Derby, and unfortunately this year we had both. Now, the steadiest rain I've got on the radar tonight is in southern Indiana at the moment. DuBois County, Jasper, countywide, getting a good soaker. You got this band of showers right along the Orange-Lawrence County line, heading up towards Salem, Scottsburg, Henryville, Memphis, Indiana. So that's where the most widespread rain is. And it's not going to be a situation, I don't think, the next 2 days, unfortunately, where you're going to get a ton of full-on dry time. It's going to be one of those deals where you're seeing steadier showers like I've got here in southern Indiana, or you're seeing mist and drizzle. I really think it's going to be one of those two and not necessarily full-on dry air until we get this cutoff low out of here. We'll go to the metro because I know a lot of folks are still filing out of Churchill Downs, dispersing across the city. Got some lighter showers in the southeastern part of the county, Fir Creek, Seatonville, Glenberry, maybe some slightly heavier raindrops in Jefferson Memorial Forest area. One little sprinkle right there off Old Henry Road near the new Publix. Some showers up into Oldham County and Henry County. So very hit and miss with that shower coverage right now. But if you're not seeing those steadier, heavier showers, you're still seeing that drizzle or that mist. So it's a messy night out there. Here's the rainfall totals. This goes back over the last 24 hours, but most, if not, well, I should say most of this has fallen since midnight last night. And you can see the winners so far have been our central Kentucky counties. So Mumfordville, a solid 1 inch of rain, 1.75, an inch and 3/4. In Campbellsville, about an inch and a third in Columbia, inch and a third close to it in Lebanon. How about Frankfort? Anybody in Franklin County watching us tonight? 2.46 inches of rain today. So some hefty amounts of rain, especially in that this yellow zone here across Greene County, Taylor, Marion, Washington County. That's where we kind of had some training of not only the heavier downpours, but also a few thunderstorms closer to midday today. But that's all moved out. And really, it's just kind of this lighter stuff that we're going to have to deal with for the next 48 hours. Ugh. Yeah, nasty, nasty pattern ahead. Here in Louisville, by the way, so far today, 0.37 inches of rain at the airport. So nothing on the levels of the 2018 Derby, the wettest Derby on record, where we had over 3 inches of rain when Justify began his Triple Crown run. Not full-on muddy with that track earlier, but still not great nonetheless. Let's see. Sean, I'm very jealous of you in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Good for you, though, Sean. Enjoy your trip. Vicky says hello from Franklin, Kentucky. Let's see. It's been raining since 1 o'clock in southern Indiana. No chance of more flooding. No, not really. The main issue would be if you get any heavier downpours, especially tomorrow. That might cause a brief little ponding in spots, minor flooding. But for the most part, this rain is going to be light enough to where we don't have to worry about flooding, which is good. So here's the big picture across the region. In fact, let me widen this out just a smidge. I wanted the tighter view. Now I want the wider view. Hang on. Okay, here we go. So you can tell pretty clearly where the upper level low is, the cutoff low, or the low that's about to be cut off, right? You can see that swirl near St. Louis. See how that rain's kind of going like that? There's your upper level low. Here is the surface low that's kind of attached to the cold front that's going across eastern Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia tonight. It's moving away. And it is leaving this upper level low in the dust. So that annoying L over St. Louis is going to be our troublemaker for the next 48 hours. And it's just going to kind of hang around. It's just going to let their friends go on out to the post-derby parties, and it just wants to stay inside and watch Netflix over the next couple of days. So with that low nearby, just keep spinning these showers around overnight tonight, throughout the day on Sunday, and even into Monday. It's not really going to be until Monday night when we can finally say goodbye to that cutoff low as it finally gets picked up and lifts to the north and east. And then we may have another cutoff low scenario this time next week. Don't you love it? That means more rain chances by week's end, unfortunately. So when you look at the skycast for tonight, it's going to be a cold rain too. This is the worst. Cloudy, cool, and damp. 51 tonight here in Louisville. Upper 40s elsewhere. If you're in the suburbs, you might hover around 48, 49 tonight. Rural areas, 46, 47. So a cold, damp, and dreary evening is ahead. Now, when you look at the rain chances for tomorrow, it's very uniform, mainly because, quite honestly, these showers are going to be spinning in place right on top of us. And if there's not showers at your house, there is at somebody's house 10 miles away. And it's not worth getting crazy specific hour by hour. We're focusing on rain coverage across our entire area for tomorrow and into Monday, okay? I really think the highest rain coverage is going to be early Sunday morning, the first half of the day. Let's just say the first half of the day through about noon. And as we get into the afternoon, there's still going to be showers around. Is it going to be raining at your house every single second tomorrow? No. It's not a washout, but it's right on the border of being one. It's really close. But I do think that shower coverage tomorrow afternoon is going to be slightly lower than what we have overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. Okay? 60% chance early, 40% through the rest of the afternoon. And you see what I'm talking about here on Futurecast pretty well. Now, this model, this is the HRR model, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh, HRRR. It's wanting to show this pocket of heavy rain near sunrise tomorrow morning, near Louisville, maybe just west, along I-64. I'm not totally sold on that because a lot of times when you get a cutoff low in a cool setup like this, at that time of morning, it's really tough to get those heavier rainfall rates. And based on what I've seen tonight, I think this is going to be lighter rain. So I'm not overly worried about flooding or ponding on the roads. But obviously, heading to church in the morning, if you're making maybe running errands that you that you had to put off today because of the Derby, just make sure you have the umbrella with you. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, my allergies are really bad tonight. But anyway, as we go through the afternoon, still see those showers just spinning around us. Now, as we do get into the afternoon, we start to warm things up a little bit. There may be some thunder in our far southern counties. So Washington, Marion, Green, Taylor, Adair, you guys might hear some thunder again tomorrow afternoon. I'm not worried about severe weather. No big deal. Just some thunder, briefly heavy rain possibly. That's it. Everybody else will just be socked into that drizzle or that mist with those showers at times. But you notice we go through the afternoon, ever so slightly that shower coverage drops just a little bit. So instead of a 60% shower chance, it's more like a 40% chance later in the day, okay? But that low is still spinning nearby. I mean, you could tell just how those showers are just spinning like a top right over wave country. And that's going to be the case all day tomorrow. And all day for the most part on Monday. Monday morning, shower still around. Coverage not quite as high as what we'll see tomorrow morning, but still enough showers to slow you down on the morning drive as we all head back to work. But eventually, this low does get a move on, and I do think that will be Monday evening. Slowly, very slowly, you still see some showers in southern Indiana Monday evening especially, right? But there's not going to be as many showers on Monday. So we're going to slowly see that shower coverage drop. Fairly widespread tonight and tomorrow morning. Not as many showers, but still quite a few tomorrow afternoon. And then a few showers on Monday, but not quite as many as Sunday. So we're heading on that downward trend when it comes to the shower coverage. But those shower chances, obviously, are not going anywhere until at least Monday night. For Tuesday, there's going to be maybe a couple showers early in the day, very, very early. But I will say I think Tuesday's the driest day on the board. Because late next week, we may do this all over again, unfortunately. So I got the map really zoomed out here. Here we are, right there in the middle, right there. The cutoff low that's giving us the rain now is going to get a move on to the north and east, get picked up by this trough over the northeastern U.S. and eastern Canada. Now, the big question is going to be, with this new low developing in the southern plains this week, what does that low do with this trough over New England, over eastern Canada? There was some indication earlier this week, and we'll be honest with you here, we have not looked much at the long-term outlook because we've been so focused on Oaks and Derby, but there was some suggestion that this low would kind of get absorbed into that trough, clear us out, and we'd be good to go by the end of next week, into next weekend, which is Mother's Day weekend, by the way. However, there's becoming a little more consensus over the last couple of days that this trough is just going to hang out and do its own thing across the northeastern U.S. and eastern Canada. And this low is also going to do its own thing and not phase with the southern or with the trough to the north and east. It's just going to hang out in the southern U.S. instead. And I think that's the scenario we're heading towards at this point. The question is, when you look at this low pressure that on Wednesday is going to be over Oklahoma and Texas, how far north does it go? How far north can it go? Does it try to go up towards the Ohio River? Not likely, but There's some models that are suggesting it might go a little further north, or the more common idea at this point is to keep this low to the south, make for a very active weather pattern in the southeastern U.S., and kind of give us a glancing blow of showers and maybe a few storms late next week. That's where I'm leaning at this point. I'm leaning towards this being a southern low, a southeastern low, if you will, where the highest rain storm coverage would be across the deep south, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, maybe into North Carolina and Tennessee. And we kind of get skirted, if you will, with a few showers and storms each day. This would be starting on Wednesday. And right now I've got it through next Saturday, but depending on the speed of this new low pressure, we may have to keep those rain chances in a little longer. Okay? A very unique weather pattern, to say the least. So we'll run through Futurecast. This is Thursday, and this is the European model. And you can see that low on Thursday still hanging out over Oklahoma, Kansas, starting to move into Missouri and Arkansas. But as we get into Friday, that low starts to dive to the south. It kind of gets suppressed to the south a little bit by this little ridge of high pressure that tries to develop in the Great Lakes. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle here, right? I don't think we have to worry about this ridge in New England. I don't think that's really going to be a factor anymore. There was some indication it might be. I don't see it at this point. So what you're really focused on is how strong this ridge is going to be in the Great Lakes, and can it suppress that low far enough to the south and east to where we keep things pretty quiet for the end of next week. That's been the Europeans' idea for quite some time. However, there are some models, the GFS in particular is one, that wants to kind of put that low, 100 miles north. And while it doesn't sound like a lot, that would be enough to keep some scattered showers and storms in the forecast, around a 40% chance each day. Right now, we're going to go middle of the road. And just say 30% chance for showers, maybe some thunder Wednesday through Saturday, until we can figure out exactly where this low is going to go and how much moisture sneaks into our area as a result. We want this low to go south. We want it to go south, 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 as south as possible, into the Gulf. Further south it goes, the drier will be here at home. If this low wants to go north, the ridge of high pressure in the Great Lakes, not as strong as we thought. Draw that H again. There. If that ridge is not as strong as we thought, that low is going to want to go north, and it gives us higher chances for showers and storms starting Wednesday, going into Mother's Day weekend. So, a tricky setup once again as we head into the latter part of next week. You notice on Saturday, some of those downpours might sneak into our Kentucky counties. I think regardless of where that low goes, I think Kentucky would have the higher rain chances in general. But I don't want to get into too many specifics at this point, because there's still a lot that could be adjusted in the days to come. So here comes the 10-day, and I'll answer any questions. It looks like the comments are a little quiet tonight. You guys tired from the Derby? We're tired from the Derby, I can tell you that. Let's see. Angie says, rain is just light enough to be annoying. Yes, it is. Like I said, if it's not those steadier showers, it's that mist. It's just, bleh. But you know what? I mean, tomorrow, with those showers still around, it's going to be cloudy and cool anyway. Honestly, it's a good day to just recover. It's just a good day to lay low, stay inside. watch Wave News, then watch your favorite Netflix shows or whatever streaming platform you got. Watch your favorite sports, catch up on things around the house. Good day to just lay low tomorrow. Sleep in, right? Those showers around, high stuck in the 50s. And soaked as always. Sure seems like it. Snipes on Facebook. Y'all were complaining about a drought earlier. Yeah. We're heading into the summer in decent shape. The question is, will we be able to keep some rain around into summer to where we don't go into a drought? We'll see. Gary says hello. Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. But remember, it's Derby. It's Oaks and Derby. We're gonna have fun with our outfits, you know. This is an aggressive tie for my standards. Usually, I like to keep my ties low key, but you know, has the roses on it for the run for the roses earlier. Let's see. ZK says, you guys deserve a vacation. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Like I said, the rest of the crew, they've been working their tails off all week here in studio and out at Churchill Downs. So they are, I'm sure, getting some much needed rest the rest of tonight and all day tomorrow. And I'll be here holding down the fort through the rest of the weekend, as I usually do. So weather makes Shonda want to sleep. I don't blame you. Me too. Me too. It's really good sleeping weather tomorrow. Like I said, if you guys just want to lay low, sleep in, do some stuff around the house, do anything that doesn't require you to go outside, tomorrow is your day. And early on Monday, I think will be too. I think the pick of the week right now is Tuesday. That looks to be the most dry day at this point. Maybe not completely dry, but fairly dry. And then from Wednesday onward, straight up with you guys, it's a low confidence forecast. It is a very low confidence forecast because we've got to figure out where that low pressure is going to go. Further south, lower rain chances. Further north, higher rain chances. Until we figure that out right now, we're going to go right down the middle with about 30% chance for showers each day. I do have a thunderstorm chance in play for Thursday. Shouldn't be a big deal. But we'll keep an eye on it. We will keep an eye on it. Temperature-wise, you see once we get this cutoff low out of here, Monday, we'll surge into the low and mid-70s for the rest of the week, which is pretty normal for this time of year. So I don't see any crazy heat anytime soon. I don't see any intense cold or intense cold for May standards anytime soon either. And you know what else you notice? No red. No alert days. Celebrate. Thank the Lord. We have now had 2 stretches this year of 4 straight alert days. And look, guys, we don't issue those for panic. If you look at the last 4 alert days we've had this week, we had severe weather all 4 days. Or 3 of the 4 days. Thursday, we didn't have any, but we almost did. So, no alert days over the next 10 days. Unsettled weather pattern, but not necessarily a severe weather pattern. All right. A few more comments and we'll wrap this up. Todd's got a good question. Any ideas on when we can start putting vegetables in the ground? I'll be honest with you, Todd, I'm the wrong person to ask. I am the wrong person to ask that. I'm not a huge gardener. I would assume it just depends on the crop or on the vegetable. So anybody that's watching, maybe help Todd out. Obviously the ground is very, very saturated. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about flooding with this rain that's in the area now, but I guess you should be careful as you start trying to put some stuff in the ground over the next few weeks. Angela says, at this rate, the mud in my yard is never going to dry out. No kidding. I don't think it's going to dry out anywhere. Seems like. Nita just got some new windshield wipers, and they're going to get a workout. Indeed, they will. Indeed, they will. Here, let's see, Crispy. Any severe indicators coming up? No, not really. Nothing more than maybe on Thursday, a rogue severe storm, a strong storm. I don't even want to say severe. But that's about it. I really don't see any severe weather at this point. Judy helping out Todd there. Judy obviously has more gardening experience than I do. We'll have to dry up some. That's not surprising. I mean, we're so saturated. We've had so much rain this spring. So we got a ways to go there. Shonda, any frost store freeze anytime soon? I don't see that either. I think tonight through Monday night will be the coolest nights we have for a while, with lows in the 40s for a lot of us. Beyond that, I don't see much. I do not see much of a frost or freeze potential until we get to October or November. It's usually our first frost of the year and our first frost of the cold season, and I think that's the next time we'll have one. So I think we're done with frost and freeze. And now that it's after Derby, you're kind of in the clear for the most part to start planning. And as you look at the 10-day, yeah, should be in good shape until the fall. All right, gang, that's it for tonight. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you watching our Oaks and Derby coverage all week. A lot of people on this station work their tails off to put on the show that you see every year. It's my second Derby here at Wave, and I still can't believe they pull it off every year. It's unbelievable. Truly a team effort, and the weather doesn't make it any better, right? So we appreciate you tuning in throughout the week. We'll be on again tonight on Wave News at 11. We will give you an encore presentation of the Derby on Wave News at 11. We'll have some analysis, and of course, we'll have your updated news and weather headlines as well. Stay dry. If you can't stay inside tomorrow, great. That's a really good idea. But if not, make sure you just be careful with those wet roadways and that mist that's really going to keep visibilities low for the next couple of days. It's not as bad as it looks, guys. The 10 days not as bad as it looks. No day's a washout. So tank covering in that. And hopefully we can drop those rain chances for later this week soon. All right, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching all day here on Wave. Our Derby coverage, we'll have a full recap for you coming up tonight on Wave News at 11. Take care.